before? Or this is your first time hearing composition? First time? Okay, good. Alright, so composition, we have a notation that we use. This is the process of combining functions. We just did combination of functions prior to this, which is when you add, when you subtract, when you multiply, when you divide. But in this case, the output of one function becomes the input of another one. Okay? So I think I would give you a how do you say it? Graphical view of what's happening so that you guys can see in terms of the graphical point of view. Alright, so here's the visual composition. How do we do composition visually? So if you look at this one, I have here a function inside a function. Okay, we always start with the inner function f at -7. So now you go to your f, which is this, okay, and try to look at f at -7. So what do we mean by this? If you go back to the definition of a function, is f of x equals y, right? So what's my x value here? If this is my notation, what is my x value here? You see -7. So now you have to look at your x equals -7, which is over here. Okay, what is the y value? Okay, my x. I have to find a point that will have an x equals -7. Can you find that point? It's over here, right? That's the point. So first, I need to figure out what's my x. I went to my x value, and there we go. I figure out the point. Now, what's my y value here? All right, I got that. Okay, it means that my f at -7 is equal to. So now this is the 3 is the output of your f function f. Now this output will now become the input of this other function. So now I'm using this to plug into this. Okay, now again using the same notation. Okay, what's my x here? Now we are now looking at this function. Okay, what's my x? G of 3 equals something. So the x is that one, right? So that's my x. You have to figure out the point that has x equals 3. Your hint, you just go up or go down until you touch the graph. Think over here. What is my y value at x equals +3? Alright, so that would be the answer here. So this is equal to -5. So this one means it's equal to -5. Okay? So we just have to use the output from here, and that will become your input on the other function. Okay? So that's how visually how your composition is working. Alright? So whenever you have this notation, f of g's of x, okay, is same thing as f at g's of x. Note that this is not always equal. Okay, just be careful with this. Okay, they're not always equal. So this is what you call composition of function. All right. So we always start with the inner part, g's of x, and after that we are going to evaluate the. Okay, so be careful with this notation, meaning you always have to start with the g. Okay, now if they change that to s of t, for example, of x, then always start with the t. Okay, meaning evaluate your t first, and whatever the value of that, then you use your other function. Okay, so let's have an example here. Let's look at this one over here, f of g of x. So which one should I use first? You have to go to your g first, right? This one over here. So what's your g? Okay, I have here 2 examples. So you have to use this one first. Okay, this one is going inside the x of your f. Okay, so the order is very, very important. So you have to emphasize, we have to emphasize that this one over here, f of g's of x, this g's of x will be becoming the input of your function f. So all you need to do now is just replace your x by your g's of x. Okay? So now this x here will now become 4x minus 6. And then as we notice, after this, that's 8, okay, 4x minus 8. So as we notice, after this, we're now going to do your algebra 1 and algebra 2, which is distributive property and combining like terms. Oops, okay. So now I'm going to distribute. What do I get here? 8, 6. Minus 16. Alright. So you will have now 8x minus 19. So this is your f of g of x. Okay? Not bad enough, right? You just have to plug in your g's of x. Before I solve this one over here, I think we can now solve this first because it's the same thing as this, right? So I just need to replace my x. Okay, I have to use a thinner pen. I don't know why this one jumps so quick. Okay, so alright, here we go. I don't know how to make this one. So I can adjust this one over here. Okay, I think it's better now. Okay, so before I do the g's of f of x, I'll just solve this one now. Meaning f of g of 6. So what do you mean by this? What do you think will be the meaning of f of g at x? Replace which one? Alright, replace your x by 6. And there we go. 8 times 6 is 48 minus 19, and what do we have after this? Solve. That's carry 1, right? 3, that's 9, 29. Alright, 29 will be the answer. Alright, so should be able to get the number. Just to show you the difference of f of g and g's of f, I'll just use this space here. Sorry, okay, I'll take this space. So for my g of f of x, so which one will be your input this time? Yes, your f will now be going to your x to your g's of x. Okay, so let me just write this one first. So f of x is equal to 2x minus 3. Then g's of x is equal to 4x minus 8. So now this is the first one that you're going to plug in. So this one over here will now go to that x over there. So that's the meaning of g's of f at x. We have to use this one first, and you plug it in. Okay? Okay, and then you can easily plug that one in. Go ahead, that's your turn. Go ahead, plug it in, guys. Alright, I'm recording now. Okay?
Multiplication?
Yeah, just plug in your 2x minus 3 to your x at the bottom.
Okay.
Oh, she's doing two things at the same time. I know. I think he's doing for you.
Wait, what?
No, just ignore me. I'm just talking to myself.
How do you know it's cops? You could just erase it, just erase it, just erase it, just erase it. Remember, he's recording, so.
This is Jesus.
Okay.
There's a assembly order.
I can't see it again.
So yeah, I wrote something below this one. I wrote something below this one, and that's the question that you have is based on I wrote earlier. I sent the other. I think I used S and P. Check on the nobody copied what I wrote. Yeah, even her, she didn't copy. Even here, she didn't copy it. Nobody copied that. That's so sad.
She put it in her notebook. Oh, this? Put it here. I didn't know that I
No,
meant
the one I wrote under this.
Oh.
All right.
Don't say it.
Thank you.
No.
All right.
I didn't see it.
Okay. So, so this time the f will now become the input. You have to go here, replace the x by the entire function f of x, and after that, see this. What is that? Okay. All right, and then after that, distribute. All right, there will be 8x minus 20. Okay, some of you, it seems like most of you, did copy this one. This one over here. Okay, so if I have s of p of x, it means that I'll start with my piece of x first, and after you get that, you plug that one into your s. So the order is very, very important. Okay, so the closer, the function closer to the x, that's the one that you have to use and plug it into the other function that's farther. Okay, so in this case, if you look at this one, why we switch them? Because if you look at this, f is the one that you have to plug into your g. Whereas this one, g is the one that you have to plug into your f. So the order is very, very important. Now, let's compare. Are these two the same? This and this are the same? No. I use this. Sometimes they will be, but most of the time they'll not be equal. See this one over here? 8x minus 19. Here is 8x minus 20. All right? Okay, can you please do the one with the square root? All right, let's do the second one. This time we got a square root function. Let's start with my f of g's of x. So I'll do it this way. So f of g's of x. So meaning your g's of x will go inside your f. So if you look at this one, you got square root of x plus 5, right? So this one over here, f is square root of x plus 5. Every time that you see your x, replace that with your g's of x. So it looks like this now. Okay, it might be confusing, but what's happening here is that the entire g's of x will go to your x. Okay, so we are trying to use this one, the closer to the x. That's the short, that's the hint. The function closer to the x is the one that you have to use and plug into the other function. So now when I replace this by g's of x, it means that my g's of x is actually x squared plus 4x minus 1. So now I will have to rewrite this one. So my g's of x is this. So x squared, let me use a different color. X squared plus 4x minus 1. Okay? So we took the entire function, yes, and plug into the x there. But remember, this one has a plus 5, so make sure that you include the plus 5. Okay, you know what? I used the orange color, so let me just use that orange so that we know that this orange is for the f of x. Okay? And then from here, we just need to combine like terms, which is on the right side will be equal to negative 4. So this is x squared plus 4x minus 4. Right? question. If I have square root of a different topic, not different, like let's go back as a review. If I have square root of 16, what is the value of square root of 16? 4, right? But do you agree that 16,
I get negative 4.
no, that's plus 5. I mean plus 4.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry. So let's go back to square root of 16. What is square root of 16 again?
4.
4. Okay, good. Now, we know it's 4. Do you agree that 16 is just 4 squared?
Yeah.
So if I take square root of 4 squared, what do I get?
2.
What is square root of 16? 4. And then, do you agree that 16 is equal to 4 squared? Okay. What is square root of 4 squared? Alright, 4. Okay, do you remember that? Oh, I remember this. We can just cancel this and that. Do you remember doing that before? Okay. So, we're going to use that here. So, I just want to make sure that we remember that. Okay, so what we're talking about, Mr. V, because if you factor this, so what are the factors of negative 4? The sum should be positive 4. We need to factor negative 4.
How do you get negative 4?
No, this positive 4. I said positive 4. Let's factor 4. The sum should be 4. Okay?
2 and 2.
Alright, 2 and 2. I thought I put plus already earlier. Okay, 2 and 2. Good. Now, we'll be able to factor this one now as what? X plus 2. X plus 2. Right? But if we have the same base, do you agree that we can write this as x plus 2 squared? They're the same, right? And then, based from our review, I can actually just cancel this and that, and then we're going to get x plus 3. So that position, look, so go inside the innermost function, g of 2, meaning I have to go to my g first. Okay, that will tell you which one to go first. And then figure out your g's of 2, meaning you go to your x-axis and locate your x equals 2. And then either you go up or you go down. Just draw a vertical line. And that will intersect the point that has your 2 as your x value. And what is the y value? Alright, negative 6. So now, this is equal to negative 6. So use this, the output for this will become the input for this. So now you go to your negative 6, draw a vertical line again, and you'll touch the point there. And on that point, what will be the y value? Alright, so negative 3. So this, the entire value for this will be negative. Alright? So just a reminder, always pay attention to your function inside, because that's the first thing that you have to do. Okay?